Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News. I am your host, Kim, aka Bravo Breaking News on Instagram. And I am back with another Love Island USA recap because this week was the Casa Amore recoupling. And boy, did it not disappoint. I mean, the drama was out of control. Tensions were high, and I was absolutely on the edge of my seat, guys, during this recoupling. It was definitely the most dramatic of the season yet, and I am here to break down all of my thoughts about that, as well as what went down on the last two episodes. We have the end of Casa Amore and the recoupling to cover, and I have a lot to say. So sit back, relax while I break it all down. But before I dive in, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any Bravo breaking news. Okay, so before we get to the recoupling, let's talk about the final days in Casa Amore, because we learned that Kordell, the whole time he was in Casa Amore, was wearing a ring that Serena gave him. Now, we did not see this happen on the show. I don't know why production chose to hide this little tidbit from us, but we find out in Casa Amore that he is wearing the ring that Serena gave him, and it doesn't really seem like he gives two fucks about it because he says he is falling for Dea. He says that their connection in 2 days might even be stronger than his with Serena. And then we see the moment that, of course, the girls see on their phones as well. Under the covers, him and Dea going at it. They are definitely dry humping. They are having a good time under there. And I have to say, it was very, very hard to watch, especially from what we as viewers know, that Serena and Kayla were sleeping in soul ties every night. They were not connecting with the men. They were staying loyal to their couples. And obviously, that was not happening in Casa Amore. We still have Aaron on the final days in Casa Amore thinking about coupling up with Daniela. They seem to be, going strong. They are having these conversations. He does say he's thinking about Kayla, but, they're still kissing. They're still cuddling. They're still sleeping in the same bed. So at this point, I almost thought that Aaron was going to go through with it. The other couple that's kind of wishy-washy is Kenny and Janae. So I've been rooting for Janae this whole time, guys. She's one of my favorite girls in the villa, and she just seems to get it wrong every single time. I don't think it's her fault. She has just been, given very, very terrible and troublesome men to deal with. But right now, she has 3 that she is choosing between, and that is Kenny. She calls it her little triangle. She has Kenny, Josiah, and Jacoby. And Josiah and Jacoby are definitely swooning her. They are definitely putting the work in, but I just don't think that her feelings are there for either of them. I can kind of tell this whole episode leading up to the recoupling that she is definitely still leaning more towards on Kenny. And when you look at Casa Amore, it kind of seems like Kenny is too. He hasn't really formed a strong connection with any of the women. He is talking to Kat, but it definitely doesn't seem serious. There seems like there is zero chemistry at all there. So I definitely thought that Kenny and Janae would choose each other in the recoupling, but I was surprised to see what happened. But before we get there, at the end of Thursday night's episode, the girls receive a text message that absolutely changes everything. And it basically shows everything that we've seen as viewers, everything that Aaron is doing. It shows Aaron and Daniela on the lawn. He is like giving her a foot massage, which is disgusting all in its own. And they're also speaking in Spanish together, which, I don't know, gives me the ick when Aaron does it. I just don't like it. It doesn't come off as genuine by him whatsoever. But so they're talking in Spanish. I guess he says, I want to kiss you, but I don't want to hurt somebody else in the process. They kiss anyway. It seems like he doesn't care. And Kayla absolutely loses it. Guys, she is looking at that phone. Her hand is shaking, trembling. She is not happy whatsoever, which is exactly what we all thought would happen. It also shows Kendall kind of egging them on. He's like, ooh, they're getting nasty. That is definitely not Kayla. So the girls now have a bone to pick with Kendall too. But it doesn't end with Aaron because they also show Kordell under the covers with Dea. And that cringe moment where he asks if Dea has chapstick. And she's like, well, I have lip gloss. Why don't I put it on you with my lips? Like, oh my gosh, that moment just sent me over the edge, guys. And Serena saw that also wasn't too happy. But I just want to say that Kayla and Serena are handling this completely different ways. Now, I don't know how I would react, probably somewhere in the middle, but Kayla, I mean, she is losing it. Tears streaming, makeup everywhere. You know, the producers are playing Please, Please, Please by Serena Carpenter as she watches the video over and over again on the phone. She is just losing it. While Serena, wall up. I mean, almost no emotion other than absolute rage and anger. And I'm done with him. I don't want to give him any more of my time. But you know that deep down inside, she is really upset. She just chooses to kind of portray this tough exterior, which I love to watch. I think she handled it so well, and even better in the recoupling ceremony. I also want to jump in and say that I have changed my mind about Liv. So if you watched my previous recaps, I did say that, you know, I wasn't really sure who she was loyal to. It was really tough to figure out like who she really stood by in that fight between Rob and Leah and all the girls. She was kind of getting into the mess and not really choosing a side. But after watching a few more episodes, she is 100% a girl's girl. She is backing these girls up. She is there for them. She is their shoulder to cry on. She is giving them pep talks. I mean, she is really, really bringing it to the villa. I love her being like the voice of reason. She has their backs 100%, and I love to see it. I mean, I think what I realized is that her and Leah probably aren't the closest just because of the whole Rob situation that happened when Liv first arrived in the villa, but she has every other girl's back. She is there for them. She will ride at dawn for them, and I love it. I love Liv in the villa. We need her to stay. No matter what, even if she doesn't have a connection with a guy, we need Liv in this villa. Okay, so while we have Kayla absolutely losing it over the video, we go back to Casa Amore and we start to see a different side of Aaron. You know, he's talking to Rob. He's saying that, you know, I've had a fun few days with Daniela, but I think that Kayla is still my number one. Well, he's in for a real surprise because he does not know that Kayla has seen the video of him and Daniela from Casa Amore. So he thinks that he's just going to go back into the villa, all is going to be hunky-dory, and they're going to get back together. Meanwhile, it seems like Rob has a different plan because even though he was kind of coupled up with Destiny, I don't know what happened with them at all. It seemed like they hit it off at first, but she kind of disappeared. But now, all of a sudden, Rob is interested in Daniela now that Aaron is gone. And this bromance is like, I don't know, it's taking it too far. I feel like they have almost like planned something to bring drama back into the villa. Like Rob was like, oh, hey, dude, why don't I bring back Daniela so you're not under fire, but she's still in the villa if you want to continue to have conversations with her. I feel like this is 100% part of their plan. I feel like Rob is kind of playing like a producer at this point, bringing Daniela back in because we didn't see them have any connection until, the last few hours of Casa Amore? So I don't know. It makes no sense, but at the same time, it makes a lot of sense. We also had Jalen kind of throwing one last Hail Mary, pulling Kayla to Soul Ties for a chat. And even after she's seen this video, the day after, she was so emotional. She was ready to share a bed with another boy. She will not even kiss him. She is still stuck on Aaron, even after seeing that video. So I don't know. That makes me think that no matter what happens, they're definitely getting back together. Okay, so let's get to the recoupling because a lot happened during this ceremony. So we get Liv coupling up with Kane, which I actually love to see. Again, I am a Liv stan now. I do want her to find love in the Love Island villa, so I hope that there's a connection there. She hasn't really found one yet, so I really hope this is it. Then we get Nicole and Kendall both choosing to be loyal to each other, and this just melted my heart. I did have high hopes for Kendall. It didn't seem like he was connecting with anybody. It didn't seem like Nicole was either. I really love them together. I think they have a genuine connection. I see it when they're hanging out. I see it when they're talking to each other. And I think that they see it too, and they're in it for real. So the fact that they chose each other and are still together, I love that. One thing I was surprised about was Leah sticking with Miguel. So she chooses to stay with Miguel, even after saying that she's pretty sure he's straying away in Casa Amore. Well, to no one's surprise, he shows up with Sierra, and no one's really surprised. I think Leah kind of saw it coming. Maybe she just didn't connect with any of the new boys in the villa. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't surprised to see that whatsoever. So Leah is now single. What I was surprised was when Janae picked Kenny and he walked in with that girl, Kat. I mean, I said it before. There is zero chemistry there, guys. And it proves even further when he walks up and Janae starts going at him. I think she can't believe that he brought this girl back. Even though they only spent a few days together, they had a very strong connection from the beginning. And Janae straight up asks him, do you have a stronger connection with her or me? And he says, you, to Janae. And so Kat, literally, I've never seen somebody more awkward or scared in their entire life. She just stands there, eyes wide, not quite sure what to do with herself. It is so awkward. I think that she's going to be gone next time there's a voting or whatever. I don't think she's going to last very long. I think Kenny just brought her in to play it safe. And so he didn't look like a fool if he chose Janae and Janae didn't choose him. So I think she was merely, a piece in this gameplay. Now, on to Kaylor. And of course, Kaylor chooses to stay with Aaron. And Aaron, of course, shows up alone, which I am happy to see. And he was very happy to see at first. But again, he doesn't know that Kaylor has seen this video. So he skips right in. He's so happy. He's feeling good. Kaylor immediately starts crying, telling him about the video. He doesn't know what she saw. She says, you should know what I saw. You should know what you did. He wants to talk about it after. Ariana's going to call him right out and say, no, we have all the time in the world right now. And Kaylor absolutely reads him to filth. I mean, he played her. You should be telling your girl that you want to meet her parents, take her home to meet yours, do all of this serious stuff if you're just going to go to Casa Amore and basically fuck somebody else. So as of right now, they are both single, but I guarantee they will be back together in no time. Then in walks Rob with Daniela. And it is so funny because we have Kaylor cheering yay, oh my God, I'm so happy for Rob. And then they're like, wait, what? Wait, no, that's Daniela who was with Aaron and is now with Rob. And all the girls immediately freak out. It is definitely going to be awkward. Again, I definitely think that this was part of their plan. I think they're conniving little dicks, and I think that they just want to cause drama in the villa. And Rob, I feel like that's his sole goal with being in the villa, is just to cause drama. I don't think he's there to find love. I think he is playing the producer role and trying to cause trouble any chance he gets. And this is definitely going to do that. Last but totally not least, we get Serena. Of course, Serena, she's been sleeping in soul ties. She hasn't formed another connection. She is hoping that Kordell comes back still wanting to be loyal to her. I didn't know what was going to happen here, guys. They left this as a question mark, so we would all be shocked when we saw Kordell walk in with Dea. I mean, my mouth dropped to the floor. I was really hoping that he wouldn't do this, but he walks in with Dea and won't even look anybody in the eye. He is so scared. He is ashamed, and he should be. He should feel all of those things because of the conversations that him and Serena had before Casa Amore. I mean, it's so transparent what Dea is trying to do. She knows who he is. She knows he's related to a very famous football player, and she is just trying to win this game. It's so obvious that there is no connection but a sexual connection between them. I mean, I feel like Kordell, he's so young, he might think that it's something more, but I can see as a viewer, we can all see that it's not. And so he walks in, he tries to apologize and say all these things, and Serena has to tell him, speak up, bitch, say it with your whole chest, because he just won't even look anybody in the eye. Again, he doesn't know that Serena's seen the videos. She calls out the dry humping. He says, oh, you've seen it out of context. And everybody's like, what context? No, there is no way that you need context to understand what was happening there. It was clear as day. So we have another reading session. She absolutely reads him to filth. You have no respect for me. You have no respect for yourself. The way you are moving is absolute bullshit. And then we get the moment of the night where she gives him the middle finger, licks it, and sticks it on her butt. And I just love that move. I feel like I want a chance to use that in real life, although I probably won't be given that opportunity. But Serena, again, handled it like an absolute champ. I don't think a single tear was shed. She was super strong, standing up there, telling him exactly how she felt, how it is, and what he did that was so terrible. And I just know that the first chance that we get to vote a couple off, it will be Kordell and Dea. I mean, he is definitely on our kill list right now. We want nothing to do with him. I don't think that Serena is going to get back with him. I think she is too strong. I think once she gets hurt once, she is not going to fall for it again. But we'll see. I don't know. In the previews for next episode, we see a lot of fighting going on between Kayla and Aaron, between Kordell and Serena. I don't know what is going to happen, but what I do know is that I will be seated for the drama. So that is this week's Love Island recap. I will be back on Wednesday, our off day, to discuss everything that's happened Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So guys, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any more Love Island recaps and Bravo breaking news to come.